This is the same bike that he rode from New York to San Francisco. Hi, I'm Jordan Louie. This is my 1962 Panhead. Originally a Chinatown Frisco bike owned by my dad's friend from high school. Got the bike in pieces, originally in a drop seat frame. Decided to go hardtail with it and didn't do much to it, just pretty much assembled it, put oil in it, wired it, and it surprisingly ran pretty decently. And over the time, it's been through several iterations. I decided to go with the wide glide front end because a lot of the guys, I was looking at a lot of the old photos and all those guys were running wide glide, so decided to do that as well to pay homage to that style. Really dug these like prismatic like bars, kind of had a cool, unique look.
Super thick, huh?
Yeah.
Where'd you get the mirror? That's crazy looking.
The mirror, oh yeah, that's a story too. That's originally my uncle's mirror from his knucklehead from back in the day.
What?
So I tried to preserve as many parts. I got lucky. My dad came up from my grandparents' garage and pulled out a box. It was full of like all old crusty parts off of my uncle's knucklehead. I actually found this too. This is off of my dad's Honda 305, but it's original bait seat.
Wow. Does your uncle still have the knucklehead?
No, so he had it, I forgot how much. He bought it for like $1,000, which was a lot at that time from Dudley Perkins when they were in the city.
$1,000?
Yeah. And it was a pretty gnarly bike. It went through a couple iterations. He had a Wassel tank on it too. I have the original tank actually in there.
What?
But he had the knucklehead in it, and at the time, a lot of those guys, they wanted more power. So he pulled the knucklehead out of it and put a shovel, slap-shot shovel, yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, back then, right, you want to go faster.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They were about speed. Like the original owner of this was all about like pro street speed. So he was building it as more of like a dragster. There's like several locations throughout San Francisco where they were drag racing. Like Carroll Avenue was like one of the spots that was known for drag racing in Bayview Hunters Point, and Great Highway actually too, which was, I think originally, I just learned it was like originally like 3 or 4 lanes, but now it's like dwindled down to like 2 lanes.
Wow. Man, this gas tank is cool. The gas cap too.
Yeah, this original like Hummer tank. I found this like old like Tibetan like dragon head that I thought was kind of cool, so I just...
Where, online?
Yeah. Trying to interject a little bit of like my culture into this build. Like the whole like styling is kind of like designed after like a Chinese lion head or dragon, foo dogs too. I was telling son earlier that I kind of like envisioned it like, you know, those altars in the back of like the old Chinese restaurants with the incense and the oranges. I wanted to come out of that like spirit world.
Oh.
Yeah, I just finished this too. I found this in Chinatown actually. It's like I've never seen it before. It's a 4-headed Buddha with like all the different expressions.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool.
As you shift gears, Buddha will guide you.
That's sick, dude. This is when you go too slow.
Yeah.
Angry.
Also, what's interesting about this setup too, I've seen a couple people do it too, but like I have it routed to a hand clutch too.
Oh.
So
the hills, right?
Yeah, so I live in San Francisco, so it's nice to be able to pull the clutch when necessary. And that's why I'm running a front brake, just to hold me on a hill too.
Dude, that's the first time I've seen it. Like,
yeah, it's awesome, dude. I definitely recommend it.
Wow, foot clutch and hand clutch.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Let me see. Dude, it feels nice.
Yeah.
Shit.
It took me a while to get the mouse trap like dialed in, but I think it works pretty well. You can pull it in pretty easily.
Wow, that's sick. Does the front drum works pretty well?
No, it doesn't. It's just enough to hold you on a hill.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the next thing I got to do. I got to replace the shoes on the rear because it's starting to squeal.
This is a +8 or 6?
6 over, I think.
6 over? What's the story behind the sticker?
So that's a group that was organized in Chinatown It was organized by the youth, and it was to help other younger generation find jobs. It was like a popular gathering spot for like hot rodders, also the gangs too. They had pinball machines in there, pool tables. Chinatown was a popular hangout spot. Like there were nightclubs, there were shows, there were food that you could go out and eat late at night too. And a lot of that stuff doesn't exist in Chinatown anymore.
So this doesn't exist no more, huh?
Yeah, it's gone. I think it's a restaurant now.
Oh, wow.
But I've heard a lot of stories from like the older guys. All of them bring up Louie's. Thought it would be cool to bring it into the bike too and bring some of that history into it too. So I bought the slip-ons as fishtails, and then I just took a grinder and just went at it for a while. I worry about people walking around it because
Super sharp?
Yeah, it's kind of sharp.
It's not fishtail no more. What is it? What do you think?
I was kind of like going for like a dragon's tail kind of vibe.
That's cool. How about the seat, the back seat?
The back seat, I found that on Chopper Swapper actually. Ryan, he goes by 3G. Yeah, but had a chance to visit his shop. His shop is wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Chopper heavy?
Yeah. It was cool to hear the history of like all the things he's collected through the years too.
Dang, that tail light, it's cool, dude.
Yeah, it's like an old Cadillac, I think. I forgot the years on there. 64.
Did the seat come with the 60 bar too?
Yeah, it was all together. And I was just like...
Yeah, it fits perfect on it.
Yeah, it has a cool look, so just ran it. Paint is probably next. I want to do the frame as well.
What color?
Probably black, yeah. It goes kind of safe.
Yeah.
But I want to do some molding on the tank as well.
Oh, nice.
Want to also fill in this, because these old Hummer tanks, the fuel capacity is pretty shitty.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah,
dang,
it's pretty much
split in half.
Pretty much a circle around the city, and you're pretty much empty. 3 favorite mods. I like the bars, the tail too. The fender and the tail light and seat setup kind of gives it a unique silhouette as well. Pipes too, and I like all the little touches of like Chinese culture in it too. And I plan to do more. I've gone through like probably 30 plus sketches of different tank designs, and I haven't like really settled on one. But it'll happen. Just take my time, and
yeah,
it's like designing a tattoo or something. Yeah, so this is my workspace where I grew up actually too. And it's pretty much where I assemble all these bikes. The one back here I picked this up from Caesar, he was featured in one of your videos as well. So this one's been through a couple iterations as well. The one right before this is more like a dad bike. So it was a lot wider, split tanks. Just wanted something a little bit different now. So not sure where it's going yet, but we'll figure it out.
What year is this one?
This one's an 84, originally a police bike from Hawaii.
Oh, wow. He shipped it over?
Yeah.
What?
I think he won it in an auction.
What? That's sick. Did it come with these tires, or you put these tires on?
I put these tires on, yeah. Well, the rear, it came with that tire, but it was originally running a 39 millimeter, like I think an FXR front end.
Oh.
Yeah, so I wanted something wider.
Yeah, looks good, man. Like these bars are perfect for it too.
Yeah, those are the original bars that Caesar had on it as well. And this is actually this is my uncle's tank.
Oh, the knucklehead.
Yeah, this is off of his knuckle.
Crazy. Dang, look at that.
Yeah, I pulled it out actually, but hopefully there's no holes in it now.
Are you gonna run this thing at some point?
Yeah, I plan to potentially run it on the Panhead. Doesn't really fit the look, but it'd be nice to run it at some point too.
Like a season?
Yeah. I mean, I hate for it to just go to waste and just sit there, you know?
Yeah. Is that the tank that came with the bike?
Yeah, that's the tank that originally came with the shovel head. That's Caesar chopped it and narrowed it out. Originally, it was painted. It was like a blue and black scheme. I probably should have kept it. I ended up like sanding it all down and went raw and then cleared it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a Sportster, which was one of the first projects that I've worked on. This one went through a couple iterations as well. I went for like an old like drag bike, had a bunch of like aluminum fairings along with the aluminum tank as well.
What frame is this?
It's the David Bird. It was from like back in the day when there weren't that many options.
What's your plan for this bike?
Just dial it in again. The battery's dead, so I got to get a new battery. I need to replace the valve guides too.
What year is this one?
96.
1200 or 83?
1200.
Nice.
I mean, it was a good looking bike before I did all this stuff to it too. It was like it had a like this like 70s like purple paint job. But I think I can't let things stay the way they are too long.
Yeah. Always a work in progress.
Yeah, for sure. These are my older brother's bike. This is one of the first bikes that I actually started wrenching on as well.
So how'd you get into choppers, man?
So I grew up around hot rods and choppers. Pretty much we have like generations of family members that were into bikes and were riding as well. My uncle had a knucklehead. My dad rode a chopped up Honda 305. My grandpa had a delivery trike, flathead, back in the day as well. And then his brother had a knucklehead too. And from what I have like one photo of it in one of the albums as well. But he rode that from New York to San Francisco. And from what I heard, he just carried a knife with him and just rode it across the states.
This was what, how long ago?
A long time ago. If I could find the photo, it was probably like, I want to say 50s maybe.
This is a family album, huh?
Yeah. So I've been like collecting and archiving a lot of the stuff within the Asian community. Yeah, let's see what's in here. I don't remember where everything is, but I think this is mostly car stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so another like popular thing with like a lot of the vehicles back then was to put the cars on tube axles and lift them up.
For the SF Hills, huh?
Yeah. And you'll see some of them hill jumping them too. That was really popular with bikes as well.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys with Hondas, it was like Honda 305s, 450s. They were just ripping around the city, wheeling and hopping hills.
Yeah. Did your dad have like a Hardy chopper or just Honda?
Honda. He had a couple Hondas that he chopped up. I think he took like a welding class back in high school and just kind of went from there. This is Jocko's car. It's now owned by his son, TJ. But you'll see some photos of it, how it is now too. This is it now.
It's still around, right?
Yeah. So you'll occasionally see it at the San Francisco meets. It's wild to see it in person. It's just like to see a car like lifted up.
Yeah.
It looks mean. So back in the day too, like there was a 76 station on Union, I believe, and that was like one of the popular hangouts. So like all the youth
right?
like just used to kick it at the gas stations, which is pretty cool too. Like to have a community where you can just talk, wrench, and just hang out. So we had a meetup for another documentary series that was done by Dan Stoner, who also goes by Autocult on Instagram. Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's documenting the history of like the lifted up gasser style. It was cool. Like they pretty much like closed off this alleyway in front of the lion's den.
So much history, dude.
Yeah, it's rad.
Oh, that's Ryan's.
This is TJ right here too.
Oh, that's TJ with the. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's Ryan's Model A, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with yours too.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, this is my dad too.
What's your dad's name?
Glenn.
Man, I forgot to bring my magazine so I can get and sign it.
Oh yeah, I can if you.
I'll bring it next time.
Yeah, I'll probably see you around.
That's your pan right there.
Yeah, so this is the first iteration of the bike.
Yeah, no
really
CC1
going
yet.
for like that like outlaw Frisco style.
Yeah.
at this point, like I had just got the bike running.
Yeah.
And to be able to ride with my dad too through
Yeah.
Chinatown. He grew up in Bayview, Hunters Point, and then they moved out because they actually were, my uncle with the knucklehead, they were siphoning gas in the garage and the house fucking caught fire. So they ended up leaving Bayview and they got a house in Twin Peaks, and you'll see some of the old photos that are in front of that house too. This photo's been circulating the net for a while, but this is Mike Jang, who is one of the original dudes in Chinatown that was building choppers. I was talking to him for a long time, and he unfortunately passed away. Rest in peace. It was cool to chat with him and hear his perspective. He may have influenced choppers to this day. He did like a famous illustration that was on California choppers.
Oh dang.
I shared it on my account, but it's a pretty iconic illustration, and he sold it to Ed Roth. But from what he told me, he said that when he made that illustration, he had never seen a king and queen seat. So, I mean, that could potentially inspire others. I don't know. This photo's sick too. This was shot by Jerry Jew, who also passed away.
You know, when was this?
This is probably the 70s, I would think. This is Harding. I think this was Mike Jang's bike before, and he sold it to Harding. And I think this is Mike Jang's bike as well. And
You think that bike is still around?
so I've been trying to find him. Apparently, the last person that I knew that owned it, he said he sold it to a woman, and he sold 2 knuckles to her. And I've been asking if he was able to locate it, but he hasn't gotten in touch with her.
You know these guys right here?
Yeah, so this is my dad's friend. He actually broke down on the street on his bicycle, and he stopped by my garage, and he's like, he remembered my dad, so like he needed some tools, so I helped him out at that time. And then he came back later that day, or he saw the garage, and he saw that I was working on a Panhead, and he told me that he had a Panhead back in the day. So he came back with an album full of photos of him and his friends, like in Chinatown with the Panhead. There's a couple photos in front of the Chinese projects too. It's pretty rad to see. Yeah, you'll see a lot of these guys, they're all wearing derby jackets as well. That's like a pretty San Francisco thing, but a lot of the Chinese guys wore them too. This is Ron Chu. He was featured in the Roller Ripper magazine. This is Waylon, I believe. Wayne Leong. But dig the style on that bike, just the super long front end. There's a couple photos of him like riding on Great Highway too. I believe this is Mike Jang as well. I think this is his bike too. Another one of his bikes as well.
Dang, so he built quite a lot of bikes, man.
Yeah.
Did his son or anybody take over that business, or?
So he had a similar like story as me. Like he was a designer as well, and he was in the video game industry actually for a long time. Oh, really? Yeah. He worked on Atari, I believe.
What? So this is just his hobby?
Yeah, this was his hobby.
Crazy.
Yeah. But you can see it. He has that artistic eye. He had his own style.
That's sick.
Funny thing about this photo, I posted it online, and then someone, I guess, found it on Instagram somehow, and he's like, that's my dad.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Wonder if he's still alive.
Yeah, I think he's still alive.
Freaking stud, dude.
Yeah.
Dang, these pants are nice, dude.
Yeah, I believe these are Mike Jang's. This one too.
Dang.
Yeah, this is like that Cyclops style too.
Yeah, look at that headlight all the way up here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Dang, look, riser on riser, dude. These are really good photos for being in a 60.
Oh yeah. So that's the thing too. Like, at this point, like not many people had cameras, so it was kind of rare to
documented, right?
For this to be documented as
Yeah.
well. Like even my uncle, like we only have like 2 or 3 photos of his knucklehead,
Yeah.
and they just didn't shoot as many photos as like things are now, you know.
No. Back then, you take 1 or 2 photos. Now it's like fucking 100 photos on one spot, right?
For sure.
Dang, this one's nice. Dang, Dragon too.
So this is my uncle.
This is a bike that he took the motor out for a shovel, right?
Yeah.
Dang, look at that. Fit, man. That's cool.
This is my dad riding the bike down the street too. I think he dropped the bike on that ride, and then he had to bring it back to my uncle,
Is it your dad's older brother or younger brother?
older brother.
Oh.
This is my grandpa on his delivery trike.
Was your grandpa born here?
Yeah, he was born here.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Dang, so
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are like generations over here.
Yeah.
Holy
So
cow.
according to my grandma, we have like family that dates back to the working on the railroad.
Holy cow, that's a long time here.
Yeah.
You guys.
This is my uncle too. But these are some of his buddies too. Looks like a flathead and knuckle. And this is his brother. This is the same bike that he rode from New York to San Francisco.
Crazy. From New York to San Francisco.
Yeah, New York.
So he bought it in New York and then rode home?
Rode it to San Francisco.
That's fucking gangster, dude.
Yeah.
That's sick. Dang, I wonder how much you paid for it.
Probably not. I mean, it was probably a lot for them back then.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a lot of these guys, they were riding mostly Hondas actually. Like a lot of them couldn't afford the Harleys, but like a few could.
Dang, imagine his adventure, dude, you know?
Yeah.
From New York to SF on a fucking knuckle. And you're Asian too, you know?
Oh yeah,
From back
that's.
then.
I mean, he just carried a knife with him.
And back then,
yeah.
like, there's no helmet, right? So
Yeah,
they see
yeah.
you're fucking Asian on
Yeah.
a Harley, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dang, that would be...
Yeah, he passed away, but I would have loved to hear his story too about that ride. Yeah, so this is when I brought the bike to Alden, who is the original owner of the Panhead. So
Oh, nice.
it was cool to see his reaction to see it running, since the last time he saw it, he pretty much just took it all apart.
That's your shovel right now, right?
Yeah, this is a shovel before when it was a dad bike.
Got it. With the white tank and everything.
Yeah. So this is the bike originally. This is the same bike. This is the Panhead from
Crazy.
back in the day. This is him. He looks exactly the same. These are photos of my dad from back in the day.
That's your dad?
Yeah. So this is shot in Oakland, and he's sitting on my other uncle on my mom's side, his digger,
Yeah.
his 450 digger. Is it 7? This might be a 750.
Who's that right there in the middle?
That's my uncle.
Oh, wow.
Was really into bikes. I think he spent his youth like installing hydraulics on cars too. If I find the time, I'd like to do Honda too. Like and do like, you don't see anyone doing this style anymore.
Yeah, look
like,
how
just
crazy
like
it is.
super long front end and just like super
Short, right? Short and long at the same time.
Yeah. I like it. It's
Yeah.
sick. It's different. Yeah, a lot of the guys back then were involved in gangs too. So a lot of these were they're rocking like their like
Outfit, right?
their outfit and their jacket. I think these are Raiders. The Raiders jacket had like I think they were black with like piping around the sleeves. But back then that was like a popular thing, like jacket clubs.
Yeah. I mean, it was cold too in SF, you know?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with this. Marked up faces.
Dang.
That's my dad, and this is Alden.
Dang, your dad was dark, dude.
So am I. Yeah, this is the original Raiders jacket. I think the wife still owns it.
Wow. Dang, they got into boats too? Modifying
Oh,
boats?
yeah.
Dang, freaking choppers
Yeah.
on water, dude.
I mean, have you seen those guys in like Thailand that are
Yeah,
like
it's
ripping on
freaking nuts.
they're hopping up their speedboats? Yeah, I think these are originally Mike Jang's photos. These are some of his original illustrations.
Wow.
So I don't know if he's ended up selling this one to Ed Roth as well, but his style is super cool. Like he definitely had a hand.
Yeah.
So this is my dad's Honda, like in front of my grandparents' home.
Yeah. It's crazy. So short but tall at the same time.
Yeah, look, it's like on the block too.
Frisco style for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Look at the lean on that too.
You should build one again, man, just to
Oh
pay
yeah,
homage.
I want
it,
to.
you know?
I want to. I still have this jacket to this day too.
That's cool. Dang, look at the fog. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time,
Yeah.
Jordan.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for showing us your photo album and great history, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.